Hello, you are welcome to Intentional Leadership. In this podcast, I will be talking about leadership. Leadership is life, leadership is everything. According to John C. Maxwell, everything rises and falls on leadership. So that's why this intentional podcast leadership will focus on issues that have to do with leadership. And today, I just want to begin with introduction by talking about the concept of leadership, the idea of leadership. If you don't understand leadership, you are going to struggle. So that's why it's important for everyone to be educated and see how they can make use of their leadership ability. So today we're going to be focusing on the concept, the idea of leadership. Just to begin with an icebreaker, can you tell me what you understand on leadership? I'd like you to drop a comment on the chat box for this podcast. Tell me what you understand by leadership. Let me begin by trying to give us some of perspective onto leadership. According to John C. Maxwell, who is one of the world's renowned leader, leadership is an influence. Leadership is an influence. For the purpose of this podcast, I would look at leadership from the perspective of the process by which anybody exerts an influence on people, organization, on any situation for the purpose of maximizing the effort of those people for a common intended goal. I'll take it again. Leadership is the process of social influence, is a process of influence where you are able to maximize the effort of people so that you can help them to achieve a common goal. Do you understand that? Okay, so I need to take it a bit further to ensure that you've understood that definition. I'll break it down into some few components, and one of them is the process. The first thing about leadership is that process, is that thing, is that action, is that rules, the principles, the guidelines, the way you do it to be able to influence people. I know that we've looked at leadership as a way of influence, which is good, which is correct. But much more than that, that process by which you influence people is referred to as the idea of leadership. Okay. As we'll continue to discuss in this our podcast on intentional leadership, then you continue to understand what I mean by the concept of the process. So the concept of the process is very important. For instance, if you are a father or you are a husband, you want your wife to do something for you. That is, you want to influence her to achieve a goal. So that process by which you influence your wife or influence your child or influence people to be able to do something most time to achieve a common goal. That's what we refer to as leadership. As we discuss in this intentional podcast, intentional leadership podcast, you are going to understand this concept a bit further. Does that make sense? Thank you very much. So, number two is influence. So, leadership is about people. One is about the process. I've talked about that. Number two is about the people. If there are no people, there are no leadership. And your ability to be able to influence these people really talk about how much of the leadership skills that you have. So it's about people, and usually you want to maximize the effort of these people to be able to achieve a goal, usually a common goal. So number three, there is the concept of goals in leadership. Okay, so I'm sure you understand what I've said so far. So just for me to take the idea of leadership again, is that process where you influence people to maximize their effort. Look at that statement. You influence them to maximize your effort, or you influence them for them to become impacted for achieving a common goal or a shared goal. So leadership is about the process, it's about influence, it's about the people, and it's about the goal. You need to have that in your perspective. Moving on, we would like to talk about how you can apply this concept to your daily life. Let's say, for example, you want your child to be able to do something. Or let me take another example. Let's say you are the boss at the place of work and you want your secretary to be able to write a letter. So that process of helping your secretary to get the work done is leadership. And there are different approach to leadership. Okay. So if you understand what I've said so far, please drop a comment and tell me what you feel about it. Let me look at it a bit further. Leadership is that relationship, integrity that you have, and you're trying to relate to people to achieve that outcome. So if you have understood what I've said so far, I'd like you to drop a comment in the chat box. Tell me what you think about leadership. I have told you my concept and idea of leadership. Tell me what you think about it, and then we can learn from each other. So, leadership is the key to grow. Thank you. And listen to more of the podcast. Here, I am going to be talking about leadership. You are welcome to the Intentional Leadership Podcast. Thank you. Bye bye. See you.